Regardless of what you have to work with, you can absolutely make a absolutely phenomenal beef hash utilizing leftover cuts of meat. Yeah, super easy to do. Today I'm working with 16 ounces of pan-seared sirloin that's left over from last night's dinner, 3 cloves of garlic, a tablespoon of heavy cream, 1 small yellow sweet onion. Gonna use a couple tablespoons of butter, fresh rosemary, and 2 sweet potatoes. In my opinion, these are very, very underutilized potatoes. Sweet potatoes are delicious when you slowly cook them. You know, caramelize them on the outside, really utilize those natural sugars that they have. First things I want to motor through are the vegetables. Little yellow sweet onions are delicious. They have a beautiful flavor to them, especially when you caramelize them. The whole point of this is to utilize the leftover steak and just cook really quickly so everything is going to get cut up kind of small. One good easy way to peel the paper off of garlic is to cut off the root end, grab the paper, peel it right off. Sometimes you could even squeeze the other side of it and just rip that paper off, comes off nice and easy. Plus that root end is rubbish, you don't want to eat that. Rosemary that I picked off my plant. Ooh, fresh rosemary, dude. That is the You can save these herb stems too, don't throw those away. They are really good in like flavoring soups and stocks. Sweet potatoes, lop off the ends, peel it. So I purposely saved the meat for last. It's a common practice in the kitchen. You cut up all vegetables, fruits and vegetables first, and then you cut meats, whether they're raw or cooked, last. So all the mise en place is cut up and ready to rip, so let's get to cooking this beautiful hash, yeah? First thing, I'm gonna cook the sweet potatoes because they take the longest. Sweet potatoes are probably gonna take about 10 minutes or so to cook, right? Good amount of oil in the bottom of the pan. So my medium saute pan I had warming up over a medium-low heat just during the time frame that it took me to cut up the ingredients. You want it to be nice and warmed up. And good amount of oil in the bottom of the pan because you don't want these potatoes to stick. You really want to hear that sizzle, you know what I mean? A little bit of salt, help them sweat down, and highlight the flavor. Salt enhances flavor. When the potatoes are partially cooked and going with that yellow onion, salt the onion. You gotta season little bits in layers. It makes all the difference, man. Really just looking to sweat these onions down and really just highlight that flavor that they have. They're nice and sweet. I'm gonna add a nice flavor profile to the overall dish. Nice and savory, sweet, a lot of fat, good amount of salt. A little bit of a last minute thought, but I wanna put a teaspoon of raw apple cider vinegar in there too. Kind of towards the tail end of the cooking time. That's gonna really help just pull all the flavors together. So we're gonna have sweet, we're gonna have salty, we're gonna have umami, and we're gonna have acidity. I know this kind of looks like a lot of potatoes in the pan, but when I go to add the meat, you're gonna mash in the potatoes with the beef, kind of like cake it all together, you know. If it starts looking a little dry, then you could go in a couple knobs of butter. Smells good so far. I think we're on the right track. So we have sweet from the onions and the sweet potatoes. We have salty from obviously the salt and then that crust that's on the outside of that steak. And we have fat from the heavy cream in the steak. We have umami from the steak. And we have acidity from the apple cider vinegar. All those ingredients are gonna really just come together in beautiful unison. Creates this beautiful profile that is fully rounded out, yeah? When the potatoes are just about all the way cooked through, then make a well in the middle of the potatoes. Add some butter, melt in the butter until it's nice and foamy. Then add the rosemary and the garlic. Well, I already guessed it, but I'm gonna salt it. Salt, again, enhances the flavor, pulls things out. And just wanna cook the garlic for about a minute. Just really wanna get that rawness off of it. Smells good. I love the smell of garlic and rosemary in the pan. Rawness is cooked off the garlic, so now we go in the beef. The beef is already cooked off. I just want to cook it long enough just to heat it all the way through. The most important thing is nailing down that meat to potato ratio. Taste as you go and adjust. A little bit more salt. Now's a good time to go into the vinegar. Heavy cream. Really just helps pull this whole thing together. And now I grab a fork. Potatoes are all cooked all the way through now. You smash the potatoes a little bit with your pork. It's gonna help them just kind of bind together, yeah? Knowing how to properly season, whether it's salt, pepper, vinegar, really makes a difference on the final end product. If you end up tasting salt, then you added too much salt. If you taste black pepper, you added too much black pepper. If you added too much vinegar to it, it'll taste like vinegar, right? We want all the things to just really build off of one another and build this flavor profile, like I said, is this fully rounded off. Make sense? That's good. So now, just let this cook until it browns on the bottom side, flip it over, brown that side, and then serve it on a plate. Kill the heat because we're done cooking, yeah? And then, oh, look how that just kind of holds together like that. That's so good. I love the soft, like velvety, smooth texture of sweet potatoes. So good. Everything has good flavor. The onions, the garlic. I love that brown on there. It's flavored. It's good. It's nice and crunchy. Adds a nice texture to it. Let's need some hot sauce. Serving a fried egg over the top of this would be awesome too. Yeah, buddy. That's what you want in the morning, man. Nice fried egg over the top of it. Hot sauce. Good to go. And then you got yourself a good breakfast.